Hello, today for review I've got a really curious earphones. On the AliExpress they are listed as BGVP 10 character hybrid earphones. Their price is about $150 and as usual I will add link to the description. But at the same time there is almost zero information about them in the internet and there is no mentions of BGVP anywhere on the box. Actually it looks like some model that was not created for the market outside of China. Actually here mentioned some company THHIFI. Absolutely, it's a torture for English non-native speaker to pronounce this correctly, and probably even for native speaker it will be problematic. But I really like the design on the photo, and actually package is also pretty nice. It's 2.1 hybrid, so a single dynamic driver, dual balanced armatures. Here actually there is information in English, one dynamic driver and two balanced armatures, and actually based on the design and other exterior stuff it looks really promising. So let's find out together what we've got here in general. As you can see, package is really stylish, starting with this nice interesting polygraphy and ending with inner box made of plywood. It opens and actually there is a sense of premium earphones, and it's always surprising to get that for just $150. Here are earpieces themselves, some kind of manual with QR code. If you want to scan it you can do it right now, and accessory set, even this brush for cleaning included. And that pouch, I don't like this velvet pouches, I don't like the sense of this material, but still it's good for storage. Huge set of tips, so 4 different types, 3 pairs each, so you can easily find some options that will suit you. Luckily they also added nice leather case and stock cable with leather strap. So as you can see, in terms of package and accessory set, they really gives you that premium feel that exceeds the price tag. In terms of design they are also really good. You can see it yourself. Shells are made of polished metal, looks pretty attractive, and I definitely haven't seen this design before, so it doesn't look like some generic OEM model that is often met on nowadays market. Interesting outer faceplate combining polished silver color and with some red surface that is seen in this interestingly shaped holes. Also grooves here reminds a little bit some design elements of Campfire Audio Solaris, and nice polished inner side. They fitting pretty well in my ears, providing good and comfortable fit. They have nice long extended spout, so passive sound isolation is also slightly above average. There is a small lip for holding the tips and protective grill, so all elements that I pay attention for is also present here. Build quality feels really solid. They are machined well and actually looks pretty stylish in my opinion. Cables are made replaceable. Here used MMCX connectors. They are pretty snappy, fitting good with nice clicks and holds pretty well. Stock cable is also attractive, looks fancy. It has silver color, nicely braided. There are ear hooks but without memory wire, of course, inside. They hold cable well around your ear, and cable itself also pretty nice. It's slightly softer than average, but at the same time it's not super soft, but still softer than average. Microphonic effect is low, it's not getting hot when it's cold outside, looks pretty attractive, typical cable for this price tire. There is a splitter with chin slider, and here it goes braided down to the metal jack. This time they decided not to use some balanced connector, but they use MM6, so it's easy to find some proper cable suiting here. So as you can see, in terms of exterior, everything is absolutely great here. During the pause in filming two parts of this video, I studied AliExpress page once again, and most probably this name is not called the tank character. It's their sister model named Red Face. On the AliExpress page, name of model is written tank character, but also they have written that BGVP released two models inspired by traditional Chinese values. First one is tank character, and it inspired by the traditional way of Chinese writing, and second one named Red Face, and their source of inspiration was theatrical masks. And I studied both photos, and this one is definitely more resemble theatrical mask, because tank character has a bit different design of these openings on the faceplate. So I was wrong naming this model in the beginning of this video, but I think it doesn't make a huge difference anyway, because still that doesn't change the review besides the name of the model. And let's talk about the sound now. I gave them about 48 hours of burn-in, and there were slight changes during first 16 to 20 hours. They became a bit more coherent. So if you decide to get them, just give them some time to burn in. And in terms of sound, you know, it's a really classical hybrid tuning that was introduced like 5 years ago or so. We taking good dynamic driver that provides us pretty weighty and punchy bass, and we accompanying it with two balanced armatures that gives us clean and crisp upper mids and treble area, and they sound this way. It's not the most coherent tuning in general, because there is a noticeable transition between dynamic driver and balanced armatures, but overall the sound signature is pretty pleasant and really effective. They're not trying to be 100% natural or monitoring, they tuned to be fun sounding, to be engaging, and they really managed to deliver that. So listening to them is pretty exciting and emotional. So bass is pretty deep, it's accented, accent is not huge, but it's definitely noticeable. I won't call this model bass head, but it's pretty bassy. And actually main accent made on mid bass and deeper layers of bass. So deeper layers of bass are present here and pretty noticeable. Low frequencies are mainly focused on punch and slightly on the faster side of things. So meaning that they will be pretty impactful and fast, and sometimes low frequency sounds a bit aggressive. So if you like really hard kicking bass, it could be a nice option for you. But at the same time, of course, in terms of quantity, it's not overdone to my taste, so quality is also pretty nice. Good texture representation and a nice amount of weight, but main accent is still made on the speed and impact. And as an example, I've got Instant Crush by Daft Punk, and here bassline with these earphones is slightly accenting, so these low frequency kicks are a bit more forward than in traditional tuning, but if you like low frequencies, you will enjoy it. Mid frequencies, as it often happens with hybrid earphones, can be divided into two parts. First one is represented by the dynamic drivers, actually lower part of mids, and middle mids and higher is typical balanced armatures. So on the lower part of mids you'll get slight leaning towards the weight, but middle mids and upper mids are clean, crisp, slightly focused on the micro contrast, so typical balanced armatures. Overall it gives a nice organic representation, not 100% natural, but really engaging, because they taking strong parts of both types of drivers. It requires nicely recorded things, but not overcritical. Imaginary stage is above average in width and in depth, and it's not trying to highlight emotions or to boost dynamics or to add weight on the middle mids and upper mids. On the lower mids you'll get a hint of additional weight. And as an example for the mid frequencies, let's go back. It's Guns N' Roses, Paradise City, really fun. These earphones played in a fun, engaging way, slightly boosting emotions. Actually, even not boosting emotions, but boosting that upper mids area that will give you sense of saturation. Sometimes it can be perceived as a boost in the emotions, but not always. But in case of this track, it sounds this way. But in general, I won't say that they boosting emotions in a noticeable way, just time to time. And treble is typical balanced armatures. It has above average extension, not super extended, but still above average. Fast attacks and decays, slightly lightweight, so pretty energetic, clean, crisp. If you heard balanced armature treble, you can understand what I mean. It's airy, it's spacious, it's lacking a bit of weight in the treble area. But still sounds engaging. If you're sensitive for the treble area, it could be a drawback for you, but if you like high frequencies, this is the model that can give you noticeable amount of enjoyment. And as an example, Rush, Manhattan Project, lot of percussions, lot of different cymbals and stuff like that, and they are a bit highlighted, so they are slightly more present than they should be, but at the same time they sound pretty pleasant, tickling your ears, and it's a fun type of representation if you like high frequencies. In terms of pairings, they require some normal source, so good digital to analog converter or middle segment player would be a big plus for them. Speaking about the comparisons, there are tons of models in this price range, but just few of them. So BQ EYZ Spring 2 that I really like, they are a bit less weighty on the mid frequencies and a bit less energetic on the treble, but at the same time they much more noticeably highlighting the emotions. And Fuse FH3 is more weighty on the mid frequencies, slightly less energetic on treble and a bit more weighty on the bass. So despite of a bit confusion with exact model name and actually absolutely zero information about this model, this hopefully it's red face appeared to be pretty pleasantly sounding model, if you like colored sound signature, of course, and they offers really great design and packaging. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a nice day.